Welcome to the Broken Agenda podcast, sponsored by Laughing Rock Technology.
Oh yeah, and then they rattle off every stat that person's ever had, and I'm like, dudes are weird. We doing this thing?
Yeah,
I think we are.
Hey, didn't see you there.
Oh, they're watching.
Welcome to the show.
Beady little eyes.
It's just another week with the guys. I'm Craig, Jimmy, Tyler, as you guys know. So you don't know this at home, but last week we recorded probably the best episode we've ever done. It was an absolute slam dunk. We were excited to share it with you. And Tyler screwed it all up, and we had to throw the whole thing away, not even a soundbite.
Nice.
So today we're going to give you the remix of, what are we doing? VPNs. VPNs. So we did it once. We'll try to do it that good again. Probably not, because we've only got one good show out of every 50 in us. But we'll do our best.
Did you want to play that highlight reel, Taylor?
Oh, and just to warn you, Tyler's got a new mixing board, and he preloaded it with a bunch of sound bits. So if you hear weird stuff happening, it's Tyler. All right, so let's jump into this. I know we already went through this once last week, but let's rehash, for everybody at home. Do we want to get into, so everybody knows, what is a VPN? And Tyler, I think you probably have the best grip on the general definition of VPN. You want to take it from here just to let everybody know, bring them up to speed?
Yeah, and there's two different types of VPN. You have a commercial VPN, which is going to give you secured private access to your corporate network. And then there are more consumer-grade VPNs, I guess, that in some ways anonymize, not anonymize, but allow you to connect to a different server in a different location to somewhat anonymize your traffic.
Yeah, now we're going to talk a little bit about both, but
yeah,
mostly we're going to talk about private VPNs.
Yeah.
What you would run at home today. We're not going to get too much into corporate.
Yeah.
So, but most of you, if you work in an office, have used a corporate VPN probably at some point. If you connect to that Cisco Connect button, or if you use like a Forta client or like a Sonic Wall VPN client, that's a corporate VPN. That is not really what we're talking about today. They're the same thing, but there's a big difference. The big difference is a corporate VPN is designed to allow you access to corporate resources. It's not hiding your identity. If anything, it's making sure that they know your identity at the corporate network. So that one is not designed so that you can go out and do shady stuff on the internet or hide things from your spouse. So not that you should use it that way. The second version is the home VPN. Now, this is what we're really going to dig deep into today because it matters what you choose, and there's a lot of different options to choose from when you select what type of VPN you're going to use and what you're going to use it for. There is a third type. They're going to bring it up. We're not going to talk about it. There are open source VPNs. I use these. I don't think you guys use these, do you?
No.
Okay, like OpenVPN or something like that. Those are really just so that the biggest use for those is to always have access to a network that you want access to, just primarily for yourself. So, for example, you may have a corporate VPN to connect to your work office, but you may set up an open source VPN on your home network so that if you're at work, you can connect back to your home computers, or if you're on the road, you can get to your home computers. It's not nearly as useful as it used to be with the cloud, but there's still uses. It still matters. So anyway, but let's get into this stuff. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question? So is there value to using the VPN like when you're accessing cloud-based services? I mean, there's like
what kind of cloud-based services are you at?
Well, I mean, your own, if you're using I don't know, storage. Is there any kind of benefit to use a VPN when you're signing into your own storage? Is that add a layer of security for any reason?
I'm going to make a blanket statement here, Tyler, and stomp on me if you have to. But I would say anytime you're not behind your own security, there is always an advantage to use a VPN. You just said right there, signing on to your cloud stuff. Well, if you're signing on to your cloud stuff, the only security you're really using is whatever security is on the network you're connected to, whatever security is on the device that you're on, and whatever security is on whatever web portal you're signing into, whether it be like an SSL certificate or whatever.
Yeah.
So
which is fine.
You kind of wipe out your trail to your own things even. I guess that does make sense in some ways.
And not only that, but if you're using a secure tunnel And here's the beauty of the VPN. What you're really doing is you're tunneling through the internet. So, trying to think of a good analogy here, but essentially the internet is a highway, of just constant on-ramps, off-ramps. It runs all over the place. Imagine that you could always create a direct route from your house to wherever you want to go that is inside a tunnel, underground, that no one can see into. That is really what you're doing. You're basically building your own tunnel underneath all the roads that no one can see. So anytime you connect to anything you want to connect to over the internet, if you can build that tunnel, no one can capture really anything that's encapsulated in your data transmission. So it really provides an extra layer of security that I recommend.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't learn that last week.
Well, this is why we do every episode twice, apparently. So, any other questions?
No.
All right. So, a couple of advantages. Started to get into this just now. What you brought up is huge, privacy. Privacy is a big one. Privacy is a huge topic. And a lot of people make fun of me when I talk about VPNs that, well, I don't look at shady stuff on the internet, so what do I care? So, but it's not really necessarily about that with privacy. Think about it this way. Let's say that a year from now they ban cryptocurrencies. I'm not saying they're going to, I'm just saying let's say they do. And let's say that because it's banned, but cryptocurrencies are widely utilized, governments around the world start going through and subpoenaing ISP records to see who's been going to crypto-based websites, who's been going to crypto-based trade exchanges, things like that, so that they can find out who's using crypto so that they know who to go after to shut down wallets and things like that. So you're not actually hiding anything. You're not doing anything wrong, but it's not a bad idea, in the event that were to happen, to make it look like your household never once went to a crypto exchange and it was always some dude in the Ukraine.
Yep.
Or in Iran or in Venezuela. And that's really what a VPN does. It allows you that level of anonymity that if something were to come down the road that you wouldn't even foresee now, that could potentially burn you, you never really left a trail in the first place. Like you're maintaining your privacy. So, and you're going to hear a recurring theme from me all the time where I always assume the government's the bad actor, but there's lots of bad actors out there. It could be anybody. So, and I know you've used it. You know a guy who has used it in the past for, sporting events and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, and that's not so much privacy, but, there's a lot of regulations on how you can view broadcast television and sports.
Yep.
So, but those things don't apply in other countries. So if you can connect to the internet and make it look like you're in France, and France doesn't block NFL games, then you can watch the Flyers play even in a blackout.
Yep.
So, not that you should use it that way because that technically violates the NHL.
Your purchasing agreement.
Yeah, your purchasing agreement. So, by all means, don't ever do that. But if you wanted to, we could put a white paper up on how. If you academically, not in the real world, just curiosity.
Hey, so let elaborate on this a little further before you go away from. So, let's say so you're using a VPN to transfer money from your bank account to a crypto exchange.
Mm-hmm.
You're using a VPN in one instance, and you're using no VPN in the other instance.
I think that's a tougher one because if you're using your own personal bank account,
Yeah, you're
there's
already
still the trail.
you have a secondary trail.
now.
Right.
If you have a wallet on your computer, and you have cold storage of cryptocurrencies in that wallet, and you go out to maybe do a transaction from your computer to another location, to another wallet, a private transaction, that would be probably more of an apt situation. As soon as you start bringing bank accounts into it, nobody cares what your ISP records look like. They're going to follow the bank trail.
Right.
So, and same with Coinbase. Like if you're using Coinbase for crypto, it doesn't matter. We're talking more private stuff.
Right.
Once you start logging in other people's services, they've got your info. But it would potentially make sense then. It would not look like it came from your IP. It would not look like it came from your computer. There wouldn't really be a trail depending on which VPN you chose. And that is a big one. The VPN you choose is relevant, so we will get into that. But then,
So how does one get into a crypto wallet through the bank, outside of being a miner? being a minor is the only way that you can go directly from. Is the only way that you have no
What are you asking?
trail. So how would you take money, purchase cryptocurrency through decentralized, or get cash to a decentralized entity in order to circumvent the trail?
Well, okay, there's a couple things here. Legit cash, that circumvents the trail right there. You got to meet up with the person, but if you give them $100,000 and they transfer crypto into your account, now you've just avoided the whole thing. If you're transferring money from an established financial institution that reports out to the Fed, there's not a whole lot of options there. What you can do, though, again, academically, this is not a thing I would ever recommend, nor would I ever personally do. What you could do is you could transfer money from your account to a third party, purchase the cryptos, have them put into a dummy wallet, and then via VPNs transfer the cryptos from the dummy wallet into your permanent wallet. And that would mask your trail, but I want to be very clear here. With the exception of maybe Monero, cryptos are not invisible.
Yeah.
So if somebody really wants to follow that transaction, the blockchain has all the records. They can probably figure it out. But that's definitely going to make it harder. And it's going to look like you transferred it into a wallet in Russia, and then you can even do multiple transfers. I've heard of people doing this.
Yeah.
They transfer it.
Well, you always
VPNs.
can see what wallet ultimately it's in. You just don't know.
Don't know whose wallet that is exactly because they're not registered. So if you do a couple of
There's
transfers,
so many people stealing crypto now.
Mhm.
Like, so
it's a big thing, and they're using
Yeah.
VPNs as a huge part of the way to mask their traffic.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, when somebody's stealing crypto, it's going to look like it's coming from like the Ukraine. I always say the Ukraine because the Ukraine's a popular spot because they don't have any laws against VPNs. They don't really have any extradition rules when it comes to cyber crimes, and they're super disorganized and don't care. So people love using them. You will not see it coming from China. Hard-nosed communist countries, they ban VPNs. And not only ban them, but you can literally go to prison for life just for using one.
Yep.
Or worse, a re-education camp, which I'd rather go to prison. That's so. I mean, there are ways to do what you're talking about, but at the end of the day, there's always a trail. That's the problem with digital anything. There's always a trail. It's how hard are you going to make it for somebody to follow that trail, and is it enough that anybody cares? I mean, if you're transferring 10 ETH, nobody's going to track you around the globe through VPNs trying to find out where those 10 ETH ended.
Yeah.
Now, if you're transferring 10,000 ETH, somebody might put the effort.
Cares.
Yeah, they might care. Now, maybe this is a good jump into. I was getting into types of VPNs and advantages and disadvantages and all that stuff. Do we want to jump right into the VPNs themselves, or do we want to keep going with the reasons why VPNs are relevant? Because this chart, let's hold off on the chart.
Hold off on. All right.
Sorry, so that was a great question, and that security applies to just about anything. Even if you're at home, there are advantages to using a VPN, even if you're on your own network with your own Wi-Fi, security, and everything else. But if you're not at home behind your own security that you set up, you should always be using one.
Yeah, like just think if you go to a Starbucks, if you're like a road warrior, you stop at a Starbucks to connect to the internet for whatever reason, McDonald's, whoever has free Wi-Fi, opening up a VPN will secure that connection versus potentially being, connecting to someone who's trying to sniff the traffic off of the stuff, steal credentials.
So you could use a public Wi-Fi like that.
You go to public Wi-Fi,
with a
yeah.
VPN.
Because all that's happening is you're connecting to the Wi-Fi, and then from that Wi-Fi, it's connecting to your VPN. So that's the only traffic that's happening there. Everything else then is running through the
Well, that's nice to know,
VPN
too.
servers.
Yep, and it's all encapsulated in that super tunnel under the highway.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people think that their cellular data is secure, and it is. But the problem with your cellular data is the cellular carrier is tracking everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So once again, anything you do on your phone or on a device that's tethered to your phone, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, whoever you're using, they know every single thing you do. And if anybody ever asks them, they all hand it over. They don't care.
They've already given it up before.
Yes, they have.
So
I mean, there's a very well-defined roadmap of all the activity you do. And I don't know what you do on the internet, Jimmy. I wouldn't presume to guess the type of stuff you get into on the internet. But what you
Well,
got to ask
would
is,
work.
do you want your kids to know? That's all I'm saying. Like, would you go there with your daughter? I don't think so. Just making a guess, but I feel pretty confident in that one. Some of them, another one is integrated security. This is something to consider when we look at the chart, but some of them have integrated security into it, meaning that they either require you to have a certain level of security on your computer, like antivirus and things like that, or they will actually install it before you can connect. So pay attention to that because it is relevant. The integrated security is actually kind of nice to make sure that you're up to their standards. This is the one, and I know you got excited about this last time, and we might even jump into this before we get into some of the online stuff. And maybe we can even test it today. We didn't test it last time.
What's that?
The money savings.
Money savings?
Yeah, so doing like the dynamic pricing and the geo pricing.
Oh, okay.
So, and I know last time you got real excited about this, but one of my favorite things about VPNs is the practical application of geo pricing. So, and I got a story. I think I told this last time. I'll tell it again because I'm great at repeating stories because I'm not bright enough to remember I said it the first time. I had a friend who was buying a PlayStation 5 at the peak of their cost. They were like going for like $1,300 at the time around here. And they told me they got it for like $450. And I said, how? And she goes, oh, I had my cousin buy it for me in Puerto Rico and then ship it here. Well, what she's talking about is dynamic pricing. So retailers set their prices based on the IP address of where you come from. Not all, but a lot. A lot. So if you're in the suburbs of New York City, they're going to assume you've got money. Even if you don't think you're rich, compared to a Haitian, you're a multi-gazillionaire. You know, a standard everyday Haitian or Venezuelan or whatever. So if you're coming from the area around New York, you might pay $1,300 for that PlayStation 5. But if you're coming in from an impoverished part of El Salvador, that same thing might cost $600. So because there's an actual price and then there's the geo price. So if you use a VPN, you can bounce around geographies in the world and see where you can get the best deal to buy something. And nowhere is this more evident than airfare. So airfare is hugely dependent on geography. And even if there's not great discounts on airfare, a lot of times air carriers they always remember previous searches. So if you were looking to go to Salt Lake City in November and you looked, but you didn't buy a ticket, and then you looked again, they're going to make the assumption that you're serious about this trip to Salt Lake City. So they're going to keep jacking up the price on you because they know you're going to buy a ticket and they want to make incentive. If it keeps going up, you're going to pull the trigger and say, oh, this price keeps going up, I better buy. But if you use a VPN and change your region every single time you look at the pricing, they have no idea it's you. It could 10 separate people in separate parts of the world all looking to go to Salt Lake City.
Yeah, this is where we said, like, this right here is a reason for everyone to use VPN.
You could save hundreds and
because,
hundreds of dollars.
Because this is where, you know, the companies are taking advantage of the consumers.
And this is how you civil disobedience. This is how you fight back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah. I
So-
love civil disobedience.
I'm a big fan. A big fan.
I might favor a little bit of uncivil disobedience at times,
Whoa. Hey, we're all friends here.
but we'll go for civil.
Keep it civil. So yeah, so that's another one. Can we test that? Do we want to try this? It's untested. Do we want to do this live?
Probably.
Is it going to burn us?
Usually.
Okay. We're not going to test it.
Let's burn ourselves. Let's give the people the
Okay.
facts.
Yeah, why not? Let's see if we can do it. So do you have your VPN queued
See
up?
if it,
Yep.
Yeah,
I
flip it over.
can't believe for 1 second that this won't work for plane tickets.
All right, so for those of you that are listening, not watching, sorry, you're SOL. We're going to actually go ahead and run a couple of searches here,
You got that second
and then we're going to connect to a
scene set up
VPN.
right there, buddy? Did you get the scene?
Yeah,
fixed?
the mics ran and stuff this time, so we should be good.
I have no doubt this will be the best technology episode ever after last week.
So the last time what actually happened was Tyler set up a scene in the OBS software that we're using, and whenever you set up a scene, you're like swapping through. Like one scene might have a picture of a web page and then a camera in the corner, and then the other scene is just like the picture of us. So when you
PHL.
set up the second scene, you have to add all the mic inputs, and so he didn't do that, and then when he swapped over to the scene, we lost all our audio. So
You notice there was another episode we lost, and you did it, and we never brought it up on
I
air.
know.
But Tyler does pretty much the same thing, and we're just blasting it publicly.
I love it.
I'm kind of enjoying it too.
I love how
To
I
be fair,
skated.
I
I love
blasted
how
myself, too.
I skated out of it, and it was my idea to blast Tyler.
See, but his was saved because we caught it at the halfway point.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
just-
What did I
restarted.
do again? What I forget.
You didn't. You turned off the
Oh, we
recording.
didn't have the mic
Yeah, you
on.
just turned off
No,
the.
you turned off the recording.
No, we
Oh,
literally
did I?
just did a show without a camera, like, just like
At
a bunch
least
of
have the
idiots.
recording on.
That's right, we did. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Jimmy,
nothing.
did you? Is that record button on?
Yeah, Tyler caught it, but we don't give him credit for that
I
either.
didn't turn on the record button. I thought you do that, Tyler.
Okay, so and notice I never touch the tech. I never touch it because I don't want to be
He
responsible.
usually
for any of
does set it up, but
Yeah.
it's like we started working together there, and I just dropped the ball.
it. Well, you know if yeah.
All right.
All
so
right.
I'm doing this from the IP we're on now, which is showing probably is the area we're at. Philadelphia, Las Palmas. I thought I did Las Vegas, but
Grand Canard. I don't know where that is.
I don't either. But we'll use it
We're going to
again.
Vegas, man.
That's what I had. It switched it.
Go to Vegas.
Yeah, but if you do a plane ticket, you're gonna have to come back like tomorrow.
There it is.
Harry
Harry Reid.
Reid.
Harry Reid.
There we go. So March 10th.
No, we're just going to do March 10th to March 13th. Easy.
Yeah, but you won't see the repercussion of your search today until tomorrow or the
maybe.
next day. You know
I
what
don't know.
mean?
Yeah, we'll
Let's
see.
Let's see what
Let's
happens.
test
Let's see if we go. We got to go to the most. All right, so we got about $440 for the cheapest
450.
flight. What?
It's like 450 average. It looks like.
Okay,
So let's see that.
I'll
And
buy
we'll
that
do
for $1. All right.
New incognito.
I
Now,
think the trick is always buy your plane ticket as soon as you look.
All right. So where's?
Where do we want to go to?
I don't know. I don't even know. Stay away from Europe. What is that? Argentina down there?
What's in Africa?
shoot. Sorry, that's me. That's me.
What's down in Africa over there?
Oh.
South Africa. So this is the NordVPN client. So what we're doing right now is we're going to change our IP address.
We're just going to see if it
Oh, right,
directly.
Costa Rica.
So we're going to see if it directly affects price right now.
Go-
just
go
for
down to-
privacy.
You want to go to a different one?
Brazil's good.
Let's see what
Brazil's
does.
good.
No, don't do Brazil.
Just do Brazil.
All right, so connected to Brazil.
You know what? I know I said this before, but I hate the graphics. I hate them. I don't know why there's worms going across the ocean.
They're
Doesn't make
waves,
any
man.
sense. Those
That's
are not
it.
waves.
They're
That is
waves.
clearly a
I've seen waves.
seagull.
I've been to the ocean.
That's clearly a seagull.
Crap, he's right. That's a seagull.
All right, so before
I think that's two seagulls doing their seagull business. Okay, so
they
this is the
see
IP
gulls.
it's reporting now.
That was what it was before.
Okay, it was .87. Now, are you connected now? I don't think you're ever connected. Yeah, okay, so we're on 173.167.74.87, and it's showing that we're in Reading, Pennsylvania. So everything looks ducky. So let's see if we're connected to the VPN.
Let's see. Yeah, we're connected to Brazil.
Okay, so let's see. We should get a new IP here.
Go chicken.
All right,
Yeah,
now
so
we're
it
showing a
changed.
completely different IP, 185.153.176.206.
Which should put us in Brazil. Go to IP tracker.
Go to your IP tracker, yeah.
There we go.
And then it should, let's see which part of Brazil
Yeah,
it put us in.
People are going to need to watch the video for this.
Oh, is it looking up our IP?
Interesting.
It's looking up our IP, isn't it?
Let's do this.
Just do it in incognito.
Incognito.
Yeah,
This might be just pulling the old cookies.
that's what, yeah.
I
I could go for a cookie.
could too.
That's why I'm a fat guy. You can always go for a cookie.
Or a brownie.
Whatever.
All right,
There
so
you go,
here it
185,
is.
okay.
Yep. Which
So-
is showing us in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Ooh, Sao Paulo. All right, so now we're in Sao Paulo.
So now we actually changed our.
Yep, so we're going to go
Now
back
we
to-
went to a private browser in addition to the VPN, just in case they were taking our cookies.
Exactly.
Everybody got that, right? No?
I got it. Did they get it?
I don't know. I just checked with them.
They got
Everybody
it.
get that? They're not answering me.
Ralph, did you get it?
Did you get it? Did anybody get it? No?
All right, so let's see. So we're going from Philadelphia.
HO.
Assuming everybody knows what private browsers are, right? Brave, Mozilla Firefox, which are also open source.
Well, we're using Chrome. We just did it in incognito.
Oh, okay.
So, come on. Let's see if this works.
Kind of
Any
opened
chance
those.
this works the way we want it to?
Do you think Chrome is really incognito?
Totally
You think
untested.
that's-
All right,
we
so,
ought to try it on Brave or Mozilla then.
so 450 was the number to beat, right?
Yep.
No
This
change.
same exact.
Nothing
process.
on that one. Nothing on that one. So,
It's a good thing that we did the test here live, so people don't walk away with it.
So they can figure out that we're full of crap. No, it does work, but it takes some playing to figure out the best way to do it.
Probably takes a little bit of time.
I think
It does take some time as well.
I think with plane tickets, it's more or less when you come back in 2 or 3 days. If you use the VPN, they're not going to see that you're back again, and then the price isn't going to go up. That would be my thought with plane tickets. I don't know if because planes. Well, I guess they could do it. I mean, they still could take if they got to go. They just want to fill to come back, but I don't know.
We should. What we'll do is we'll find some examples, and we'll give you guys some real world examples in a future episode.
Yeah.
Because there are
could try a
very, very,
product
very
quick.
real examples.
Why don't we try a product quick?
Well, I don't want to spend the whole show randomly trying to find examples. I'd like to try to find some and then bring it up at a future episode and say, hey, remember that episode where we said we'd bring you stuff? Well, we're men of our words and we're also handsome.
So here what we should do is that same exact search. We ought to do that same exact search, and like next episode at the beginning of the show or before the show, we'll do that search. Do it with the VPN and without the VPN, and see if that number then changes.
Sold. I'm in.
Because then you would be coming in as a first-time user and a return user. So that would be interesting to see how that would play out.
How it plays.
Perfect. Now, before we get into anything else, I want to hit the negatives real quick.
Okay.
So they're not big, but there are a couple I want to mention. Speed might be affected a little bit if you're using a VPN. Shouldn't be a big deal. Most VPNs are pretty efficient. Just be aware if you feel a lag, it's a thing. It's not foolproof. I can't tell you how many times I have this conversation. People get overconfident with VPNs. They think they can do anything. Do not start going on the dark web and buying bazookas just because you have a VPN. It doesn't inoculate you against the internet. It's just an added layer of security. Cookies. This is a big one. We got to talk about this. We brought up cookies earlier. These are the ones I can't eat. Most websites are going to leave cookies on your computer. And what that means is the website's not just trusting your geolocation. It's not just deciding that you are who you are because you say you are them. It's leaving evidence behind to prove that you are who you are, so that when next time you come back, they can say, yeah, we know who you are. Nice try with the VPN. Those things are called cookies. They leave them on your computer so that next time you come back, it's continually tracking you. Even when you go to other websites, it's tracking your behavior, tracking what you're doing. If you were to join a VPN, but you still had cookies on your computer, the cookies are going to give you away. They're going to say, yeah, this guy's saying he's in Brazil. I don't know if that's true, but he was literally on this site 3 hours ago in Reading, PA. So don't listen to his IP. Just here's what he did earlier. It is wildly important that you're managing cookies on your computer if you actually want to be anonymous. And I don't know if that's what you're heading to, but if you want to pop up that screen, and here's just in Chrome. Every browser has a version, and Tyler just pulled this up in Chrome. But I mean, here's just.
I just recently cleared mine, so
Yeah, it's just, but this is what you've been doing. What, this episode basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's tracking everything he's doing. Those are the cookies that are on his computer. It is real easy to set your computer not to write cookies. It's real easy to get a scrub program that'll delete them and clear them all off. It's real easy to clear your cache. So just make sure you're managing cookies if you actually care about anonymous traffic. Go ahead, Jimmy.
When you actually clear the cookies in there, are they being wiped out completely, or is there some kind of back-end storage where Google keeps it
Google
in
keeps
their
everything.
own record? Can you really
I think if you
wipe-
have your sync turned on, it will sync your cookies across browsers.
Yes.
So
Right. Then if you
theoretically,
clear
if you clear it on one, it should clear it on the
it
other.
clears across browser.
Should.
But then there
We should test that.
Is there any
Yeah, I kinda
back
want
end? It does. I mean, if because I sync my browser across my phone and another computer, so it does do it. But what
No, I meant, does it clear them? If you clear it on one, does it clear from all the
Yeah.
others? Okay, it
Yeah,
does.
it'll
Okay.
sync everything. And then, but my real question is, what do they keep in the back end? Do they still, because you've already given them that data? Are they just working off of the data that you have stored and
Google
then they get rid of it?
keeps everything.
Yeah.
What they share with the website you go to, that's a different story. But I guarantee you there's not a single thing you've ever done in a Chrome browser that Google doesn't keep, even if you're an incognito. They are the largest data mining company in the history of the world. There's a reason why they're wildly profitable and they don't really sell anything.
Yeah. It's all free
Yeah.
services.
It's all free services, yet they make They're a $1 trillion company. Are they $1 trillion yet?
I think so.
I think they are.
And when something's free, you're the product.
Imagine that. Imagine how they
Get that
stumbled
t-shirt.
on this. It's amazing how they stumbled on this concept of just giving something away free, but then turning and making profit from it. It's amazing.
I don't know if they necessarily stumbled onto it.
Well, they did. I mean, before the internet. I mean, like, what I mean? Like, everybody always had a product or a service.
Well, I mean, they learned it from the
I guess they
creepy-
sort of do.
They learned it from your van, Jimmy.
Did they?
Free candy.
My van?
Yeah, your van. Your windowless van.
I knew,
Nothing's free, buddy.
I knew I shouldn't be searching in that van.
I'm just kidding. He charges for the candy.
I just find it crazy that they have nothing. Like, all they've done is collect data.
Well, they sell
and-
advertising.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but
But,
it's
yeah.
just amazing that, like, they.
They built an entire juggernaut, basically larger than they're larger than every country in the world except like 3.
I mean, even phone. You get a free phone from Google.
You
everything.
got to buy the hardware, but yeah, the software's free.
Well, no, I don't even. I can just get a Google number, a Google
Voice.
Oh yeah,
Google
Google
Voice
Voice.
number.
Yeah.
So you can they give you everything you need to operate on the internet for free, but the requirement is they get your info, and then that's how they turn around and make the money with that.
That's right.
It's just amazing.
In exchange, they own you.
Yeah, Your
Digital
stuff.
slavitude.
I like my own stuff. I don't like when anyone else has my stuff.
Hence why Tyler and I pay for VPNs.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, oh, you do too?
I'm a VPN guy.
Which one do you pay for? Are you
Nord.
Oh, you got Nord.
Yeah, Tyler told me Nord.
Was that after the last episode?
No, I've had Nord now.
Oh, you've had Nord for a while. Okay.
Yeah, but we
Oh,
talked about
maybe.
this a while ago.
4, 5, 6 months maybe
Yeah.
at least.
Well, let's get into that. I mean, let's go ahead and do it.
Which ones?
Let's get into that chart. So we're talking about VPNs now. We're talking about advantages, disadvantages, and everything else. So Tyler's got this amazing chart. This is put together by a Reddit user.
I remember
Yep.
this now.
And
That's
if
a
you're
good
looking, and we'll post the link to this in the comments for the episode when we post it, wherever it's posted.
Yep.
But I highly recommend. We're not making any recommendations on any specific VPN today. We will tell you what we personally use. I think all 3 of us use Nord in addition to some other stuff. But this chart, and Tyler, go take it and run.
Yeah. So what this chart is essentially doing is it took these users on the Reddit VPN subreddit, pulled together all the VPNs that they were aware of, and excuse me, did a scoring for each of these so that you could get an idea of what is a good VPN and what's not a good VPN. But they don't really call it that way. They just give you a score because no VPN user actually makes a recommendation because you don't know what your purposes are. At the top is the list of all the VPN services, so over here, and then the different things that they score on. If you ever want to look at what their criteria is, they do place an explanation down at the bottom here. And some of the things that they're looking at are like jurisdiction. Are they based in a country that has intelligence sharing between other countries? You'll see stuff like the Five Eyes, which is an intelligence sharing organization between Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and the US. And what does that mean for a VPN user? Well, if they're taking that data, if they're hosting your data, they're hosting your traffic, they can be subpoenaed by one of these 5 countries to hand over their records and their logs, which is another thing you'll see here, is if they're logging, do they truly log, do they not log? Excuse me, speed, some of their like encryption, is their encryption good? Do they have their own servers, or are they leasing servers from someone? But it's a great thing to kind of nail down what might fit your needs.
I know what my priorities are on this list. What would you say are your top 1, top 2 things that you look at when you're picking a VPN?
So mine were always jurisdiction, speed, and their leak protection.
How about you, Jimmy?
I did whatever Tyler said.
Okay, so there should be a column in there, Tyler. It should just be 1 or 0. So I was a little bit different. I didn't care about speed that much because I generally find that it doesn't matter that much anymore. I was always big on jurisdiction and auto logging.
Yes, that's the other. Yeah.
Audit logging, and that one I think was my number one, is audit logging. I want to make sure that if somebody comes looking for what I've been doing on the internet, nobody's keeping any traces.
Keeping a
If
trace.
I'm using a VPN, you shouldn't be keeping a trace.
Yeah.
So if you're not a 5 on that audit logging, I'm immediately discarding you.
Which you see, there's a lot that are not a 5.
Yeah. Well, then a 0 basically means that there might as well be Google. They're just tracking everything you're doing.
Yeah.
What's the point of having a VPN then, in my opinion?
Yeah.
And so where did Nord fall on that one?
Nord's a 5.
Nord is 5 on the audit. Overall, they're a 4.5, which
Yeah.
I think is the highest.
So they're a 5 on the 3 that Tyler and I. So Tyler and I both like jurisdiction. They're a 5 on that. Tyler likes speed. They're a 5 on that. And I'm big on audit logging, and they're a 5 on that. So
Did you say about the outsourced auditing?
That's part of the audited no logs policy.
So that's one of the things that I read when I was researching that is important, that they are, when they're doing their auditing, outsourced auditing, that they're actually, like sharing the results of the audit from
Oh,
the third
transparency.
party. Yeah, the
Yeah.
transparency. So
that's
that
on
they're-
here. Where is it?
It's right here. So just kind
that
of
they're not
describing-
just like taking and shaving down,
Right.
out the good features that they had, that they actually put out, the pros and the cons of what was reported back.
Well, and here's something too, where in our next episode we're going to get to hacking. We'll talk about this in more detail. But here's something where a lot of the really good VPNs are kind of like cryptos, where they encourage hackers to try to hack them. Mm-hmm. Like they're actively out there offering rewards, or hey, if you can hack us, let us know, we'll pay you.
Yeah.
And then maybe offer you a job. So the really good ones never hide from that
They're
stuff.
like, no, dude, I'll just hack you again. You fix it, and then I'll hack it again.
But we
I don't work for nobody.
But we'll pay you. we'll give you cash money.
I'm my own boss.
All right, fine. Be your own boss. You're a terrible boss. The worst.
You just keep making messed up software so I can fix it.
Nice. So let's talk about some of the other ones in here. Obviously, we're all Nord fans. So which other ones have you guys used?
I've used Express
What do
in
you
the
think?
past.
That's Rogan's, right?
That's the one he always promotes.
Yeah, that's the one he promotes. I've never used it. I've heard a lot of people use it.
It was good. I just canceled it and went to Nord because I like their scoring better.
Okay.
But they had good jurisdiction and stuff, so
I've used Strong VPN in the past.
strong.
I've played around with that a little bit, but
Yeah.
it wasn't very good. I didn't know about the score then. That's a terrible score. What else they got on there?
Say Surfshark I looked into previously.
That one I've never messed with.
Which
now
Surfshark and
now that we're
Nord-
doing this, I remember I had a list of ones I picked for it.
I think Surfshark and Nord were created by the same group of people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or else they just merged as well, I believe.
Okay. Well, Tiger VPN looks like a giant steaming pilot, too.
Yeah.
1.72 rating.
The name is so cool.
I know, it's kind of great.
I really would
I mean, look, it's no leopard
like Tiger
VPN.
to come around.
Maybe. Keep hope alive. It's a cat and a shark. That's why it's amazing.
Say Malvat is one you hear a lot.
You know what? I've only heard about them recently. I
Really?
had never heard of them until like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I started seeing them everywhere.
Yeah, that was one I'd always run across. They always seem to have the highest placed ads on Google,
Okay.
at least for me.
Cyber Ghost pops up here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually surprised they rated that low. They were always kind of pretty well respected.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed by some of these scores.
I am too.
There's a lot more VPNs out there. They just didn't make this list. I mean, you search for VPN on Google.
Well, and a lot of the big VPNs aren't on this list, which I find funny. Like McAfee has its own VPN, and they're not on this list. I also don't see Symantec,
Symantec, yeah.
which they have another name for theirs, but still, it's not on this list. So I'm thinking Reddit users being Reddit users, I'm thinking they intentionally went away from the big corporate names.
Could be. Some of those are pretty new too. Having your own VPN is kind of a cool thing to do now.
Symantec's been around for a while, though.
They have a VPN for a while.
Yeah,
They did.
It's been years.
Yeah.
I had Proton as a number 2 on my
Oh,
list.
Proton's on there, isn't it?
Proton.
Yeah, Proton's supposed to be pretty
Proton
good.
is here. 4.2.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good rating, and they got 5s in all our top categories.
Yeah. Encryption.
Encryption a 2.
Well, Nord,
Encryption's
Proton,
a
and
4. I was about to
Express.
say. Yeah.
You said Surfshark. Did you say Surfshark?
Surfshark.
Surfshark, yep. That's one that I've messed with in the past.
And you said CyberGhost and FunnelBear.
funnel bear.
I have never even heard of
Never
funnel
heard of that
bear. It
one.
sounds like something you cuddle with at night.
Let's see what happens with funnel bear.
With a beer. It's a beer you cuddle with at night.
It kind of sounds like tunnel.
I'm not going to lie. It sounds adorable.
You talked about tunnels with VPNs. So
I did.
they probably did a little spin on tunnel with
Yeah,
funnel.
yeah, look what they did there. Yeah, they tunnel funneled it. I like that. You know what? They put the fun in funnel.
And then they put like fun. They probably meant like rear instead of bear. It was probably rear.
Yeah, I don't understand why every time I talk to you, you got to bring up
Tunnel.
rear
Tunnel rear. Fun. I don't know.
every time.
I just think people could be a little more classy with their name selections. I'm a little disappointed.
Wait, the VPN people aren't classy enough for you.
I'm really not a fan of funnel bear.
I personally think funnel bear is the greatest name that's ever been created. I don't understand why you're being a hater.
Fan of funnel bear.
I mean, it's not even a list. What is that?
Fan. Funnel bear.
All right. I have no idea what's happening right now. All right. Is there anything else on this we want to look at?
No, I don't
If
think
you
so.
start singing, I swear to God.
Tyler, you have the button.
Don't do it.
that
No,
was
I'm not
you.
going to do
You.
it. I'm not going to do it.
How are we doing on first half time?
We're at the halfway point.
All right. So why don't we take a break here before we get into more fun things, funnel things.
Funny funnel.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Thanks for hanging around. Well, let's just talk a little bit right now because we've got some
There's a lot of
time.
good conversation just on the only thing.
Well, there is, but I mean, this is a current event situation. I mean, hey, everybody, we're back. This is a current event situation, though, that is worth bringing up. And what's going on in Canada is insane right now.
Yeah.
And it directly impacts the United States in every possible way. I mean, we've got energy that runs through that country. We've got direct ties economically. We've got direct ties politically. I mean, I don't know how anybody feels about, and I'm not even talking about the trucker protest. I mean, the Freedom Convoy is what it is, and everybody's probably got their own things going on with opinions on that. But this civil asset forfeiture that they're doing right now to the truckers without due process is, if you can't agree that that's 100% criminal, I question how we all move forward.
Yeah.
Like, how can we not all agree that
Every politician or anybody that has anything to do with that should be immediately ripped out of power.
Well, did you hear how?
No question. That's criminal. They should rush in with police and remove him. From
Well, did you hear how
office.
Trudeau got the emergency powers enacted? Because he didn't have the votes. Like, the Parliament did not support him. The way he got it enacted was he went to Parliament. Oh my God.
This stuff should have been happening in our country. So for us to even like, this should have happened in our country with things that have been going on. You know,
What's that?
What's that?
well, just like with vaccine mandates and stuff.
Oh,
You know, I just read my mom's durable power of attorney, the advanced directives. Very first line says that you have the right to decide on your health care. Like the first line of the Pennsylvania advanced directives. I should have brought it in. I should bring it in and read it. Like it's right in the document issued by the state of Pennsylvania.
oh, you're applying that to vaccine mandates.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's just like, anyway, I sidebarred us there, but
Gotcha. And I don't know if I'm ready to have a conversation about vaccine mandates in this episode, because I think that's
when
going
we
to.
spawned off, we're sitting here criticizing Canada.
Oh no, I'm not criticizing
I'm not
Canada.
well, I mean,
I-
we have our own issues, but yeah, the
Wait,
same
America
thing.
has issues?
What?
Oh,
No,
the
we're
media tells me we
that's
don't.
right, we're perfect.
Perfect.
I forgot.
Perfect. It's
My
perfect.
I
Everything.
I was reading between the
Look,
lines.
as the
Again,
great philosopher Lego said, everything is awesome.
Lego,
Yeah, Lego.
Lego, my ego.
Lego, my ego. Everything is awesome.
Who was the philosopher? Was it Ego or Lego?
Oh no, ego was disreputed as a sick pervert. I don't know. We only talk about Lego. I don't know. He had your van. No. I just, and I want to get back to VPNs, but
Yeah.
Trudeau's strategy kind of brilliant.
I think that was a episode of Side Chatter.
That might have been an episode of
You
Side
could just
Chatter.
post a Side Chatter episode.
But his strategy is he went into Parliament and said, vote for the emergency powers. I know I don't have the votes, but if you don't vote for it, I quit.
Canada.
That's
we're
what he said,
pulling
and
for
they
you.
knew it would drive an emergency election, and everybody knew with how poorly things are going in Canada that everybody was going to lose their seat.
Yeah.
He got the emergency powers purely because a bunch of people refused to lose their little bit of power in Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
How messed up is that? Isn't that the same way Hitler came into power in Germany?
I feel like
Hitler
it
came
is.
into power because he just killed everyone.
Yeah, well, he killed his own brown shirts.
Yeah.
And then he got them to vote in emergency powers for him as chancellor. It was the exact same process that Trudeau just followed, was the process that Hitler followed to take over Germany.
Except he didn't have to kill anybody. He just had to threaten to take
He
their
just had to
jobs.
beat up a bunch of truckers that were, singing
gonna-
peace and love in a parking lot. So
Man, I hope the people come back and fight that.
I don't know. The Canadians, they might ask politely for him to stop.
Please,
Don't you know?
please.
That was a little touchy.
I don't know how to do Canada. I know a boot.
A boot.
I can do a boot. That's it. I can do one word, and I can't even do that right. But at least I know it sounds like a shoe. It's a boot.
All right, here we go, folks. Thanks
All right.
for listening to that episode of Side Chatter.
Side chatter brought to you by Jimmy. All right, so we got into the VPNs, we got into the protection, and quite honestly, we got off camera into that conversation purely because there's some crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and VPNs might become more important.
Yeah, especially if you want to fund truckers
It's yeah, you still got to
through some crypto account.
yeah. I don't even know how you would do that anymore. So where do we want to go from here? So I know we wanted to do a demo on showing. We briefly showed earlier when we were trying to do the ticket thing.
Yeah.
Do we want to do a couple of tests here real quick?
I mean, you can test a product and see.
Do you wanna-
Like a product would probably give you immediate results. I don't think an airline ticket would.
Maybe not. That's probably going to take a little bit of time. Tyler, you used to be in this industry. This is actually right up your alley.
Yeah.
Can you think of a good product that might do geo pricing or dynamic pricing?
I mean, Amazon may be the most likely to do it.
You want to try it?
Well, we could try it and see. I have
What
seen it.
particular?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm even.
Well, let's see. Would it be?
Are you on the VPN?
Okay, here. Let's do
I'm
this.
going to be.
How about we
I
try
understood.
like an
I understood.
essential, an essential product, and then we try like a luxury.
All right. I'm going to look it up.
Like you said, gaming, like a PlayStation.
I'm going to look it up on mine. You give me the products because you seem to have a grip on the products here. I'm going to look up the pricing on mine.
Okay.
And then you from
Brazil.
Brazil. We're doing Brazil. All right. So we're in Brazil right now on Tyler's. You're in incognito.
I am
So
in
you guys want to do an
incognito.
Xbox?
All right. I am not going to go incognito.
Let's try an Xbox and see what happens.
An Xbox?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go to Amazon.org. And I'm logged in as me, not the business account.
That would be the premier. I mean,
Wait,
that or an
Xbox
X-
or PlayStation?
or PlayStation 4?
PlayStation 5.
Is there 5s?
All right, let's
Wanna
see
do
if PlayStation
PlayStation
5
5?
is still falling there.
All right, let's do 5.
PlayStation 5. All right, so PlayStation 5. Can you
I sure hope this works.
keep hope alive, buddy?
I mean, if it doesn't, I guess it doesn't matter. But
I can't spell, please. There we go. Got it. I got it that time.
you got your
Alright.
cookies and everything.
Man, that's a cool looking.
What do you? Are you on a Google Chrome incognito?
Yeah.
See, I'm suspect of whether that's really incognito.
It may not be. It'd be even better if you were on a completely independent browser, but
In Brave or Mozilla.
all right, so I've got it up here. So let's go ahead and see. In Brazil, how much does a PlayStation 5 cost?
Dude, I have
Now I see that. Now what currency do they use in Brazil?
Real.
It's real. And what is the conversion?
Real equal. It's 20 cents. 20 cents American.
Okay, so it's a 5-to-1.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what you got. I got my price up here. You go first.
So I got 5,899 reals.
Why it's German. I don't know what that is.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, you have to.
Well, just
what
divide
is
it by 5.
20
Just put that into your
divided by 5,
calculator and
right?
divide it by 5.
Let's see. 1179.
It's pretty close. This is $11.99 in American dollars.
Still cheaper.
It's a little cheaper. It's a little bit of a price difference
Yeah, but
there.
where's it shipped from? That's a
So go ahead and try Central
we're the
America.
further
Try
continent.
Costa Rica. Let's get closer. Yeah.
Well, maybe they don't manufacture that in the States, so that's coming overseas.
Yeah, it's coming overseas regardless. I guess it matters where the distribution centers are, but I mean, regardless, if there's additional shipping costs, they're going to charge that to you.
How about we look up a medication of some sort?
Okay, hit
Sorry,
me.
Advil.
Well, yeah, just Advil.
Ibuprofen.
Medication.
Okay.
It's like $2 no matter where you're at.
Yeah, I don't know what we're proving with that.
One could be $1.98.
You know what? Fine. I'm looking up Advil.
$1.68.
Advil it is. Why not? Let's do some
You
Advil.
said I get to call this.
No, I did. I totally said that. I regret it immediately, but you know what? Life is short.
I really
Advil.
don't appreciate the resistance.
Well, we didn't do it for appreciation. We did it for fun. All right, I got Advil up. What do you got? Let's You're not searching right on Amazon? You're just going to...
Yeah, I will here.
So Advil. That's not Stavil.
Can you get Advil from Amazon?
No, they don't have it. They don't have actual Advil in Brazil. They have Advil.
Advil.
All right, so what's the price?
Let's see.
Don't scroll. Just go to
Just
the first one.
200.
200 liquid filled?
Yes, liquid gels.
Okay, what's your price?
It's still showing me as Brazil. Hold on.
Convert that crap, man.
$12.
Really?
$15.
Minus 22.
22.
$22 American.
What?
Ooh.
Okay, there you go. Hey, you laughed at me.
I did laugh at you.
You made fun of me
Look, it's not the last time I'll
on
laugh at you.
air.
But okay, all right. So apparently I need to convert all my money to reals
How you like me now?
and start buying some Brazilian Advil. What else you got? What else, Jimmy?
Let's do a Shure 57 microphone.
What? How do you
Sure. Well, you might not even a Shure 57. SURE
SURE 57 microphone? That might be. All right, I got Shure 57. I don't think that's the same thing. Sure. Oh, SHURE.
Oh, is it SH?
That's what it says on my American
My
Amazon.
mistake.
Shure 57 microphone. There it is. That looks adorable. I like it. There's the 57 LCE cardioid dynamic. Is that the one you're looking at?
Shure 57.
Yeah,
First
I got
one.
$100.
Mine's $100. All right, so tech seems to be
Look
pretty
at
standard.
the 50. What do you got there? 58 next?
I got my
Sure,
next one is a
58.
56A,
Mine's 57A.
and then I've got a.
How about the kit? Do the kit with the bait. I think that's a beta and
This one here?
357s. Yeah, scroll down to.
That's $439 for me.
Is that a beta and 357s, right?
It's a microphone kit for performing.
I got that one too. Mine's 439.
Yeah, that's what mine is too.
Yeah.
All right. No
So,
difference.
yeah. So I mean, some of these, especially specialty products like this, price is set by the manufacturer.
Let's try a toothbrush.
So yeah, let's go with something a little bit more generic. Just toothbrush.
And then we'll do a monitor.
All right, toothbrush. All right, I've got a. Do you have the Amazon brand?
Looks like
toothbrush,
number.
sir?
Amazon brand.
Oh wait, yeah. There's
No,
the
you're-
Oral-B 6-pack there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. What's yours?
This one here,
Yep.
$13.99.
Okay, mine's $13.99 also.
Okay, let's try a monitor.
But let's go down. Hold on. Let me see what the.
Let's look up a Dell curved monitor.
What else you got there? All right, so. Man, your search results are so different than mine.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Mine's all name brand stuff. Yours is all like Bob's toothbrush. That's crazy. I can't even find stuff that corresponds to yours. What's that Oral-B, the black one there? I think
This one here,
Yeah, but I'm wondering, the Oral-Bs I think are all the same price. Huh?
IQ. Yeah.
What if you go into like the Philips Sonicare?
Is this
I have
Iron
one
Flask
here, the
ordered?
HX9690.
What's the price?
That's $169.
HX.
I wonder if medication across the board is like Tylenol.
Ah, 220.
$220.
Okay, so that's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
What's that one?
The Oral-B. So it might. I'm betting some of these manufacturers set prices static across.
Based on- yeah.
Like there's no flexibility there. And then I bet they're sold by Amazon stuff,
Yeah.
where I think that's the big difference. So if it's sold by Amazon, not direct from manufacturer,
They'll
they can charge
fluctuate.
whatever they want.
Yep.
Interesting. So that's a pretty big just
What
shift.
about this iron flask?
Iron flask.
Interesting. Close that.
Let's see what that is. My hipster water bottle. What is that? The 400 gallon? Dude, I threw my back out carrying that around the other day. That thing's a flipping monster.
It's a 400 ounce.
Is it really?
It's a 40 ounce.
40 ounce? Oh,
It's
man.
a 400
40 ounces
Z.
to
I
free.
know. When
If you want to, if that's some
when
new
Tupac
unit-
died, I
if
tipped that
that's
thing. I think I did it wrong, but I tipped my 40.
It's a 40 ounce. That's pretty cool.
Iron flask 40?
Iron flask
Oh,
40.
yeah, there. Iron flask, water bottle, 40 ounce. Got it. I got stuff going on here. And Tyler's survey says what?
$27.95.
And that's what I'm showing too.
Okay.
All right, so those prices are. Now, how did you convert them to US dollars?
Amazon just did it for me automatically. I think because it directs me to the .com.
How about we do a bread maker?
Now, is that going to. All right.
Bread. I did search bread.
I feel like he's punking me now. He's just saying words. All right, bread maker. Okay.
If we're gonna tell people this, we got to test the theory, right?
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. Now, these all look pretty consistent. Actually, now that you switched it to US dollars, your search results are matching up with mine better. Do you think it's onto us?
I don't know how it could be. I'm in Costa Rica right now.
Are you, though?
I mean, it's shipping to Costa Rica.
All right, so which one you got? The Cuisinart or what?
Queasy Max.
No, forget that Max crap. I don't play that game.
Zoji Reshi.
Nah, go down a little further. I'm looking at the Cuisinart. I got one I want to buy. I'll see if I can have it sent to Costa Rica for you. That one right there.
This one?
Cuisinart CBK 200.
$139.95.
Yep, that's the same price.
Okay.
All right, so it's,
Amazon, but now we're on Amazon. So I guess we're sort of proving Amazon doesn't do it.
no, it does. We found 2 or 3 products
yeah.
already.
2 or 3?
I mean,
Okay.
the Philips Sonic Care was a huge difference. That was
Okay,
like 60
so
bucks.
Yeah.
but let's look how Amazon is structured. Amazon is structured where you have multiple sellers. Right?
Yeah.
So people can go on and they can build their own their storefront, and they can be a middleman and mark the price up.
Or Amazon
So,
can. So
yeah.
Amazon might buy 100,000 Cuisinart CBK
Well, if you
200s.
look at your toasters, okay, so your toasters are coming from probably the same supplier. Click on the actual toaster that you just compared,
Wait. You mean
the
bread maker?
Cuisinart. The Cuisinart.
bread
He's talking about the
maker.
bread maker.
the bread maker.
Or in Brazilian, it's Breed Macal.
So open it up and see if you're looking at the same exact. It's probably the same exact supplier.
so it's the Cuisinart store. Yeah, it's
Okay.
the Cuisinart
So
store.
you're at the Cuisinart store. So
Oh, man.
Cuisine,
Cuisinart.
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 Yeah,
What?
Cuisinart.
You're making
Isn't that
you're
cuisine?
You're saying it weird. I don't.
Cuisinart? No,
Wait.
it's Cuisinart.
Why are you both saying it weird?
Am I saying it weird? Cuisinart.
No, that's right. Sorry, you said it right.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Cuisinart.
I was
Well,
thinking
now that
of-
we're saying it all the time, I feel like it's wrong. Like
Well,
now I'm starting to question myself.
Well, cuisine is like food, right?
Yeah, but this is art.
Cuisine, and that's art. Cuisine, art.
No, Cuisinart.
Cuisine? I think that would be QU.
Thank God.
I got to
That's
disagree.
the sound a CU makes.
I want to know how you pronounce that.
I don't even want to say it anymore.
Because now it's 2 against 1. I just hope so bad that I'm right.
I'm 100% sure it's Cuisinart. Like, I don't understand what this conversation even means. Like, what is going on right now? It's a Cuisinart. I own one. Jimmy's. We
let's
got a
look
whole
at-
other episode to record today. don't
Let's
we? Jesus Christ,
get
he's gonna break me.
Okay, let's find a camping lantern.
All right, this is the last thing we're looking at. What?
A camping lantern.
camping
Shipping.
Everyone needs a camping
Shipping
lantern.
to Costa Rica is $223.
A Coleman?
Holy!
Shipment.
Mine's Prime. It's free.
Shipment is what? $160.
No, it's more than.
$223.47.
It's more than the Cuisinart or whatever you're calling it.
The Cuisinart is 200.
$80 to ship, and then import fees is $142.
Why is it $142?
A lot of these countries, and I know this from a past job like Mexico.
Wow.
In Mexico, you couldn't import anything that they could make there.
Wow,
Like wood
really?
furniture and stuff. You weren't allowed to sell wood furniture into them because I sold school supplies.
Wow.
And if you did import it, the import fees were usually more than the cost of the.
Wow.
So they try to tamp it down.
So because you can make bread in Mexico without that machine,
Yeah.
you have to pay a small fortune to get a bread machine. That's the dumbest crap I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's probably because any true Costa Rican is just making bread in their oven.
What,
Not in a bread maker.
what do you know about true Costa Ricans?
I'm just guessing.
Maybe they do tacos.
That's racist.
What?
Maybe they do tacos.
They're Costa Rican.
Yeah, tacos?
They don't eat tacos.
I don't know.
Actually, they probably do eat tacos. They probably enjoy tacos a lot. I shouldn't say that.
Costa
They
Rica.
probably don't.
They probably hate tacos. They
Soft tacos.
they probably like soft tacos.
Everyone likes soft tacos.
See, everybody the world over.
Call me.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's find this. You know what? Yes. You know what? Google's got to be like, what the hell's going on? Why is somebody in Costa Rica asking what Costa Ricans eat?
Oh,
We're on the
tacos.
Yeah, Jimmy Wings. Bring it up high. All
blew
right.
your cover. You blew your cover with that.
Oh, look at that.
Costa Rican tacos. Look, they look
That looks
fancy
good.
too. That does look good.
Yeah, they're like, dude, we don't need toasters.
Maybe I'll get food for the
or
next
bread
episode.
makers.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Costa Rican tacos.
What else do they eat in Costa Rica? We've got an office in El Salvador, and they eat some wacky crap down there, and it's all good. It's
Is that
really
where
good.
they No, who eats guinea pig?
Well, I don't know, but in El Salvador, have you ever noticed, and when I say this to the guys in El Salvador, they get real upset with me, but every single thing they eat is just meat and cheese crammed into other stuff. That's all it is. And I'm like, well, so you just took the same meat and cheese and just, crammed it into like an oyster shell? And they're like, yes.
Like, can I get some meat, cheese, and peas, please?
Yes, you can. You could probably cram it inside a giant pea.
Can I get some meat, cheese, and double cheese, please?
So what is that?
Gallo pinto.
Is it good?
Rice and beans.
Right. All right.
Rice, yeah.
Rice and beans. Got it.
Casado.
It all kind of looks the same right now. Casado. Traditional dish of Costa Rica.
Foods.
What is that?
A tamal, like a tamale.
Okay. I'm not impressed so far, Costa Rica. I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying.
I think I'd be
Is that creme brulee?
Rice pudding. Or
I like
arroz con leche.
Looks
rice
like
with rice with milk.
I really like rice pudding.
Rice with milk.
That
Okay.
looks pretty good.
Meh.
What is that?
Black bean
Black
soup.
bean soup.
Keep
Mm.
going. I want to find something awesome.
What's that?
Oh,
Olla de carne.
did they shove an entire ear of corn in
looks
there? Go back
interesting.
up. Is that an ear of corn?
Yeah, it's an
floating in
ear
there?
of corn in there. And a whole potato.
That looks like the laziest meal I've ever seen. Like they made some broth and just dumped whatever they had in the fridge in it, didn't even cook it, and just gave it to you.
Oh, man,
What is that?
they put
It's
in
another
there.
soup. They love their soups. That's ooh, gross.
Looks very fresh.
Keep moving. I don't like fresh. There we go, fried. That's more my
Yeah.
speed.
Avocado and black bean dip.
Oh wait, is that those
It's like
are
it's like a tortilla
patacones?
chip. Yeah.
I've had those. They're good.
Some of that stuff looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
What is that?
Flan.
Whoa, flan is so
God,
good.
that stuff is so good.
Yeah, it is.
Man.
Wait, is flan traditional Costa Rican fare?
It's like it's any kind of.
My wife
Latin-
just called me back 2
It's
times
like
in
the
a row.
popular foods. Oh, it's so good.
All right,
Yeah,
Costa Rica, you got some game. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've established that there are some products, and Amazon's a very, very limited test.
Yeah.
I mean, you got one retailer, and we're randomly choosing stuff, but we did find a couple that were dramatically different prices. And apparently, if you live in Costa Rica, you can't make bread. This is what we've learned on this show this week. So,
Coleman Lantern.
no, we're not looking up anything else.
Come
We're
on,
done.
Coleman Lantern.
We're done. We're
Come on.
over it.
Come on, the audience wants it. I already said it.
Nobody in the audience wants it. Nobody at all.
Anybody?
I'm getting text messages.
They can upvote the video if they.
So,
All right, because we really didn't prove our theory here.
we found
with
some.
Advil.
Yeah,
We
we did.
found some,
Advil,
but-
we found a couple. It's fine. And we only checked Amazon. We can check more offline, and we can hit them up
Okay.
later.
All right.
Like overstock.com or something. I don't know where do people
See,
shop.
if I was watching, I'd be like, I don't think they know what they're talking about.
Well, if anybody watches this regularly, they're gonna think that. Like, I mean, we've been making this crap up for a year now. Like, there's no actual facts here. Like they're watching for my face in Tyler's forearms. Okay, that's really it. Sorry, Jimmy. All right, so what did we miss here? We're wrapping up this show. We're coming to the end. How much time do we have?
9 minutes.
All right, so we're at the end here. I don't know. So what else? You go ahead, Tyler. What else do you want to bring up? Because I feel like I bounced around this agenda way more than I did the first time we did this. We did so good the first time. We had a mess of it this time.
I don't remember the first one. I don't think we ever actually did an episode. I feel like we're just making that up.
Nice try. I have video evidence, not audio, but video.
There's some audio until we cut to the other screens.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I think you have to find a purpose for a VPN, which is really what it took for me because I used to look into these for security purposes, but never really had one because I was always behind my own home network. And it's only been recently that I've started opening myself up to them because I had legitimate uses for them or just concerns. I used them more when I was connecting to like unsecured Wi-Fi and stuff. And I've been using them more the last few years just because of additional security concerns.
Well, I find myself using my VPN more and more for more and more mundane reasons. I don't like how much tracking happens on the internet.
It's absurd.
And the amount of time. So I've started, we got a puppy about, I don't know, maybe 6-8 months ago, something like that. I don't know how old this stupid thing is. It just craps on my property. But we got it. It's cute. I cuddle with it. It's fine.
He cleans his ass on your pillow.
Yeah, he does. He really does. It's disgusting. That's why my right ear always smells a little bit like poop. And I don't buy any of the puppy stuff. Right? Like I've never bought, but my wife does it. She wanted the dog. She got the dog. She takes care of the dog. Like literally all I do is occasionally play with it, and that's it. You know, we're buddies that live in the same house. We're roommates, me and the dog. She takes just all the dog stuff. I get dog advertisements now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been on this planet for over 4 decades. Never gotten a dog advertisement in my life. Now I get them all the time on my phone, on my browser, and everything else. And I guarantee you it's because I have looked stuff up. Like, why does my dog clean its butt on my pillow? You know, and I'm looking it up. Like, why is it doing this? How do I make it stop doing this? You know, whatever. And they have figured out through my activity that I have a dog. And I know it doesn't matter. And I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this that are like, why do you care that the internet now knows you have a dog? But for somebody who doesn't live their life online, I'm not a social media guy. I don't ever post online. I don't get involved in online culture. It's really bothersome to me.
Well, here's the question.
Yeah.
The question is, do you think it hears your dog barking?
See, I don't even care if it takes my dog. That's not the point.
No, do you think that the computer hears your dog barking?
Yeah.
Do you think they have a triggered...
Dude, you walk around with a microphone and a camera and a speaker in your pocket 24/7, even take it into the bathroom with you. Like, yeah, if they want to listen, they're listening.
That's pretty... Would that not be pretty creative? Like,
I feel like Facebook
if I were
got slapped on the hand for opening your mic when you weren't on their actual app.
Did they?
I believe so.
I don't remember that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
yeah.
I know Google
Facebook
does
is the armpit of the world.
Yeah, amen, brother.
it. Yeah,
I mean,
Mark-
unless they
Mark-
advertise with this show, in
Mark
which case we have a lot of
Zuckerberg.
respect for Facebook. Yeah, no, I mean, if they want to listen, they're listening. But that's a micro. I don't care about the dog thing. It's a microcosm for how much information they can glean from your life by simple activity online. I'm not even overtly involved in my dog's life, and they know I have a dog.
That's why I just wonder, like, if, they hear your dog bark and then they...
Well, think about
they
what
can pick up that sound. I'm just very curious to know.
Maybe.
So, yeah,
Do I think they are? No. Could they? Probably.
Do you
Yeah.
think it's just from searches you've done? Because
You have
you've
to know how to
clearly done
stack your
searches.
data, right? So you create your own data profile as yourself. Someone in your house who has the same IP address as you is
Yep.
creating their own data profile. Those get fed up into an
And then they
ultimate
connect them.
household profile.
Yeah.
So your kid's data is there, your wife,
Yep.
whoever else is in your house and actively using it, and that's your household profile. So they can glean, they can say, Lisa Marie looks at dog stuff. Craig lives with her. He's interested in dog stuff too.
He's
Okay, let me play devil's advocate.
All right, be Satan.
But I'm not going to be the devil.
Well, no, you work for Satan. God, you're his advocate.
Is it convenient when you're shown things that just fit your profile to a point? Like, I thought it was nice, but then I realized I was being sold the same thing over and over again, and I became annoyed because I felt like I was like being bombarded by the same product, almost like they
do.
And I felt like I was under an assault. It got to the point where I literally felt like I was under an assault from the interests that I had, and that is to me when I said enough is enough. I want to see variety. I don't want to keep having the same thing crammed down my throat.
You did, but understand the average person. That's a hint for them to go buy that.
And it works.
It works
And
more than you'd know.
And especially with men, browbeating them into purchasing decisions works. Not so much. Women tend to have buying habits, but men are much poorer consumers from a marketing standpoint. But if you can get in front of a guy enough times and convince him that this will enhance his life in some way, a dude will buy something that a guy who normally wouldn't be a consumer. So, I mean, the marketing world, and I love this stuff where they're like, oh, you're profiling. Of course, that's what marketing is. Marketing is a massive, like Tyler said, stacked profiling project where they're
It's
basically...
interesting the way you broke that down.
Yeah, they're lumping you into containers, and they're building a profile on you. You fit into 1,000 different subcontainers, and they're cross-referencing subcontainers against other subcontainers, finding groups of people that match up to the most subcontainers to you, and then figuring out what all the other people in those subcontainers buy, and then saying, well, this guy is in those containers too. He'll probably buy him if we beat him across the head with it enough. And that's what they do.
I mean, at first it's kind of convenient.
It is.
But then it's like, then you realize, then it's almost like Google says, "Oh, dude, this is our thing."
Well,
the
problem is it also makes you feel it's very depersonalizing. Like, you're recommending this to me.
It's almost over personal.
Yeah, you're trying to personalize it to me, and in the end, you're just turning me into a widget in your marketing machine. And it's borderline insulting.
Yeah, and that's like where I'm at the point now where if I have an advertisement fed to me, I'm appalled. I'm appalled.
I actively resist it because it was fed to
and
me.
it's like I'm like forcefully going away from anything they're showing.
I've done the same thing, and it's probably not
Like
healthy
obviously,
either,
I have a problem because I keep looking at this same crap because they're force feeding it to me so bad that I look at it like a reality check on myself. If they've got me honed in so tightly on such a small window that I need to make a change in my own activity. That's how I'm starting to see it.
No, I like my activity. I just get a VPN and make them think I'm
VPN and
make them think I'm
ad blockers.
Norwegian.
Ad blockers.
Yep,
Yeah.
start throwing off their algorithm.
Yeah, and I guess now I do start seeing variety, but then I also sometimes struggle to find what I want to find as well. But when you go back to if I go back into Google and I search for things, it's a much more fine-tuned set of results.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they have record of
I don't even use Google. I use DuckDuckGo. So I'm used to not having fine-tuned results. Like, that's not a thing I care about. If I want to find something, I want to be driving that decision-making process. I want to be driving that search, and I want to find things that are incorrect sometimes.
But it
because
would be
sometimes
like-
those are the things that educate me. If I find exactly what I want every time, when I'm doing, I do a lot of research. Now, if you're looking for a product, you want to find that product, and that's a different story. But if you're looking for a specific product, you're going to find that whether it's being fed to you or not. I mean, any browser can find a specific product.
It would be like me calling you up and saying, dude, hey, what do you think about a monitor? You know, if I search a bunch of monitors and I'm typing like whatever, gaming monitor or
You did that
high
yesterday.
ID. So like I can either input that information into my search and then Google will start saying, okay, here's what other people look for. Boom, boom, boom. And they'll start to narrow that down just based on search, not knowledge, obviously. But is there not some similarity there to them having the information to be able to provide you quicker path to
here's the difference.
where you're going?
I trust your opinion on the things I ask you about. I don't trust Google.
It's like who's the highest bidder?
Yeah, I don't trust them. I don't trust their motivations. I don't trust their algorithm. I don't trust the reasoning behind why they're pushing something. I mean, you're one kickback away from getting pushed into a decision that wouldn't be what you would normally choose. So I don't trust Google. I don't trust Amazon. I trust Jimmy. I trust Tyler.
I don't even trust reviews as much as I used to.
Not as much as I used to, no.
I get so many are bought and sold now.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
No.
that's what I think too. Even when you go, if you like, if I'm a gaming monitor and then your first 10 sites are review sites.
Yeah, and
'Cause
then what
they're
you-
all getting paid
they're
to
all
run
getting paid.
traffic.
So what you got to do is you got to start cross-referencing. And now the simple process of buying a gaming computer becomes a multi-browser, multi-search, VPN, multi-geography, cross-reference.
How many
game,
people
just
are
trying to figure
actually saying this monitor?
Yep. And then find out which ones are actually good and which ones are being paid to look good. And you can do it. It takes more work.
Yeah.
Like I will tell you what, I bought a new dishwasher last year. It is the best flipping dishwasher I have ever owned in my entire. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but it is Everything comes out clean. You can't tell when it's. They had to put a laser dot on it that shoots at the floor and lights up the floor below it, so you know when
Yeah,
it's
it's
on.
on.
That's how quiet it is.
Yeah,
Bosch.
ours is like that.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
I got
we have a KitchenAid, but it's the same way. You don't even know. Is that on?
You can't tell it's on. They're
You
amazing.
hear this little slight noise, and you're like, what, "Was that the dishwasher?"
But I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, like when I was doing my search,
Weird.
there was no agreement that Bosch was the best. You had to get deep into searching to figure out, because somebody was paying, Maytag was paying one site to put them at the top.
Yep.
And, GE was paying another.
Bosch has seemed to establish himself pretty well, though. You hear their name pretty often when dishwashers come up.
I was a little nervous to buy it, but now that I bought it, it was worth the money. They are a little bit more expensive, but man, that Bosch
Absolutely
800,
worth it.
oh my God,
Yeah.
it runs like a dream.
Yep.
So that's
It's definitely nice to have a quiet dishwasher.
I've just never had a good dishwasher.
Because like my wife puts it on and goes to bed, at the end of the night, and then it's
Yeah.
like you don't even hear it running.
Yeah, that's nice.
Now we're on one floor, so
I think we're at time, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Do we have any final thoughts?
I don't know, man. I think we've. I don't know if we've actually hammered down that like how essential a VPN might be, but I think if
First time we did this episode was much better.
yeah, it was, it was. But I think but we also went back and I think we did a little bit of, verification of what we were saying. So I think it's essential. I just think we need to take back our information, and I think everybody should be using it just because we got to start to rein back in the what's the term I'm looking for? We just got to
The
rein
intrusiveness of the,
yeah. We just got to these companies are exploiting us, and this is just
Well, we're in the data age.
it's kind of essential.
So
And wait till we get to Web3 now, because here's the real thing, is that right now these companies are taking your information, they're selling it, and if we do a Web3 episode and people start realizing that you're going to be able to opt in to this network, and you're going to make money from you offering your search history, from you offering your own personal profile, they're going to pay you instead of paying Facebook or paying Google.
No way.
This is the real revolution that's coming with Web3.
no way.
It's not going to happen.
I'm going the opposite. I'm thinking about getting a hardware appliance that has me constantly connected to a NordVPN, so my entire house is permanently in Israel.
Say with
Well, you're a major tech guy, so you don't want the tracking. But
I know.
the thing is
Well,
that
and I'm old.
the average person can now opt in and say, okay, I'm willing to give away my information,
Yeah.
but now I'm going to be the one getting the check, not Google and not Facebook.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I think that's a much better road to go down.
Tyler, final thoughts?
I think we've said it. I don't know if I have any.
I don't know. I if I leave you with nothing else, it's that if you care at all about online privacy, online security, and personal privacy, start using a VPN.
Yeah.
I mean, it's $10 a month is what Nord is.
I think Nord, you sign up for 2 years, it's like $4 a month. For 2
Yeah,
years.
I mean-
it's absurdly cheap.
I mean, Netflix is $15 a month, and
Yeah.
I mean, I would say drop your Netflix 10 times over to get a VPN. It's going to, I predict, in the future, be one of the most valuable things. Properly being able to secure your own personal data is going to be so much more valuable than anyone realizes at this point. It's getting very, very intrusive, and it's not going to stop. So even with Web 3.0, it's just more ways to get your data. And I mean, they're going to build a profile on you no matter what. Don't help them. don't
Make it
help
hard
them.
for 'em.
Yeah, make it hard. Make them work
Yep.
for it. So hey,
Jimmy.
thank you, Tyler. Thank you, everyone out there. Appreciate it. See you soon.
Thanks for watching.
The Broken Agenda Podcast. Sponsored by Laughing Rock Technology.